let's talk pepper plants. This pepper plant is either an Anaheim or a Poblano. I'm thinking it's more of the Anaheim since it's more thin. There we go. And this one is on my east facing wall and still has quite a bit of flowers. This is my mostly mystery bed of pepper and tomato plants because when tags fall off my seedlings, I plant them in this bed. I've now decided this will be my pepper bed going forward because here's in December it is still flowering, and I think it's because this wall behind it radiates the sun to keep it a little warmer. I've decided it will be my pepper bed going down this whole wall from now on, and I'm going to plant a bunch more peppers because that is what we've enjoyed. Now these have been a little on the spicy side. This is a bell pepper plant. I picked most of them off yesterday and roasted them. Does still have a few baby ones on it, and it also has a few flowers. This is my kerbachi plant. These, although they may look hot, they are not hot. They're like a little skinny bell pepper, and they start to turn red and orange when ripe. This is my beautiful basil plant. It's still doing quite well in this bed, again, because I think it gets more sun. Another bell pepper plant. He's got some big ones on him. And these are all great and green, and they're on the drip system. Now, I did go to a nursery yesterday because all my peppers in these 25-gallon drum that was cut in half, so it's a 50-gallon drum, they are starting to yellow. And I thought it was the soil, it was not enough nutrition, it was all these other things, and Facebook wasn't helpful. They gave me lots of bad ideas too, what's wrong with it. And it is too much water. So I turned off the drip system to them, and I will start watering these by hand. I do want to redo the whole drip system so the beds go for longer because they need more water, and then all the containers have a less amount of time so they won't get enough water. But let's walk through my pepper plants today. These are pretty sure there's 3 plants in here. No, there is 4 plants in there, and that is a lot of plants, and I do supplemental feed it. There is 4 YOLO California Wonder pepper plants in here, bell pepper plants, and I do think this one still has a nutrition problem because that is a sunspot or it is blossom end rot, and I will do more research because I thought blossom end rot was on the bottom, so maybe it's just sun damage. But this has been a very productive plant coming into the fall. Not sure what this bell pepper plant is. Did plant him by a basil. Love me some basil. And then that goes into a tomato arch of tomatoes that made it through the summer. Now this is right here my all-time favorite snacking pepper. These little orange ones. I did buy it at the garden, Home Depot, and I can't really see what it is. I'll have to wash it off. I want to say it was called Sweet Treats. It had some fertilizer on it. No, Fresh Bite, I think orange. Kind of hard to see there. I did want to do some research and see if it is a hybrid. And if it's not a hybrid, I want to harvest seeds. These are the sweetest little peppers. I've quite enjoyed him. This is the Carmen Italiana that turns red. I do like him when he turns red. It's quite tasty. Planted with basil. Coming down here, this is I say it's a purple basil. I think it's called a Black Wonder. Now, these are bitter. I did not like the taste of them the first time, but the longer you let them set, then they did get a little bit better. Coming over here with this huge mammoth purple basil. I snuck in a pepper plant back here. I had planted them and had too many, and so I just started sticking pepper plants in places. I do not have any bell peppers in the green stalk. And in the little greenhouses over here, this was the Carmen Italiana. I should find the tag on that one. I think I see it. They start to turn red, and you can tell its tips are still green. I bought all these pepper plants in here. Oh, this one right here is a yellow sweet banana pepper. And even though it says sweet, it has some kick. Was quite surprised at that. This has some yellow peppers in it, along with it smashing a basil plant in there, but he has some big ones on him. It's about the baseball size. And the ones that are starting to turn red, the Carmen ones. And this plant, it does have some yellowing of the leaves. So like I said, I did cut off the water on them. Now in this green stalk, I did plant some bell pepper plants, and they are flowering. This is, I got these seeds, yellow mama. I'd have to pull up the seed packet. I did get those off of Haas Tools gardening website. I'm gonna see how well this can handle. These bigger buckets towards the bottom are supposed to be able to handle bigger plants with the supports. I do over here have some stunted Kerbachi peppers, those long curly ones over there. I am going to be pulling them out of this plant. They just do not get enough sun here. And in this last bed that I have not reset yet has the true Anaheim peppers. I do have a tag on those. They are starting to turn red, and they're nice. They are spicy. I will attach some of the things we cooked this weekend with them after we grilled them. And then lastly, as we pass over the flowering basil plant that I purposely let go to flower just for pollinators. It's beautiful and it smells wonderful. Oh, here's my pollinator. I will stay away from you, but you do your job, little guy. But this is the last 2 or 3 plants I have towards the end here. These are jalapenos. Some of them are starting to change color. They look like Christmas lights, kind of like them. They are spicy. Yes, very spicy. Made some salsa with them. And then down here is the candy cane plant. It's just like a little baby bell pepper, but it's cute because it has stripes and it has variegated leaves. He is just getting blocked out now by the basil and the jalapenos, so I do need to get him out. I am going to reset all of my buckets. The soil in it doesn't drain good enough, and it's getting too much water, and it needs more nutrition in it. So I will go through, and I am going to pull the pepper plants out, but don't be scared, I'm going to save them. In colder climates, you can cut them back down to the stem. There's some great videos on YouTube. The Rustic Gardener, or that's the only one I can think of right now, but or Epic Gardening. They also have videos where you trim it down to the V and you can actually bring them in your house and overwinter them. Now, I live in 9B. I do not need to overwinter them in the house, but I am going to completely cut them back down to 2 or 3 main stems, pull them out of the buckets with their roots intact, amend the soil, and then put the plants back into overwinter here. And they should be fine. But I gotta find space to put all the new pepper plants that I am growing as seedlings. This weekend I picked a bunch of the Anaheim, some bell peppers, some jalapenos, and tomatillos, and my husband roasted them, and these are a couple of the recipes that I made. I'm gonna place them in the pan. Take a scoop of the egg mixture. Put that one over. Separate them. So I just flipped them over, and you can see the green chili on the back. And I'm just waiting for the bottoms to get a little bit browner before I plate them. All right. So I've taken one bite of it, and it is way too spicy. But this is how it turned out. Still a little warm. Most of the egg's on one side. You can see the chili in here with the cheese. I ended up making a casserole out of it with the same egg mixture. You can't quite tell, but it is flaky and crunchy. I did add some flour into it instead of rolling the chilies. Still kind of spicy, but good. I also picked some tomatillos from the garden and had my husband roast them, and we made some pork chili verde. Thank you for joining me this morning on my garden tour of my peppers. Thank you always for learning and growing with the Woodpile. I am hoping and planning, as life situations go as planned, to try to do weekly videos. Thank you for your time.